This video is sponsored by Mark 7 Car Wash Equipment, providing clean, dry, shiny cars for over 50 years. Visit mark7.net for more information.
Hello and welcome to Unscripted, the video series that connects you with market leaders. Today on our Unscripted video, we welcome Kevin Detrick, founder and president of Innovative Control Systems. Hello, Kevin, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Sure thing. So today's topic is on processing in the COVID-19 era. And I know, Kevin, you've been in this industry for quite a few years now, and having opened your first car wash in the early 80s, if I'm correct, 1981, if memory serves me.
That is correct.
So you've seen quite a bit evolve in this industry, especially when it comes to point of sale systems. So can you tell us, how has the point of sale process in the professional car wash market evolved over time here in this market?
Sure, thanks. It's very interesting. When I got into car washing in the 1981, everything was all about full service car washing. Full service car washes washed more cars and made more money than exterior car washes. And as the full service model evolved, it became management systems grew with it to put as many profit centers on one property as you could. So a car wash would have a quick lube, a convenience store, or a boutique, a coffee shop, sell gift cards, detailing, propane, whatever they could put on the property that was synergistic. And the computer system became a multi-profit center reporting solution, tracking labor and revenue, each one of the different profit centers. And those full service car washes were very large, very hard to manage, required an enormous amount of people. And everybody we sold in the 90s was always saying how they were going to open a lot of car washes. Very few ever went beyond two. Most stayed at one just because it was so physically demanding and hard to run the business. And then ultimately, in 2002, we developed the express car wash model, where we reduced the dependence on labor and we're able to delink labor as part of the car wash. So the cars were greeted with payment kiosks or auto sentries, and they were stacked into the tunnel. We washed the car. We delivered a lot more value. And ultimately, the express car wash model made a lot more money, became a lot simpler to manage, but it also developed a whole new unique set of management tools, software for greeting and selling the customer with a kiosk instead of a person. And the cash management of knowing how many ones and fives and how much liquidity is on site when it's in a machine and you can't just see it in a cash store. So we had to develop all new cash management specifically for the express car wash market. And these computer systems also evolved from when I was in car washing in the 80s, where there were really no management solutions and we were using paper to track cars, up through DOS, through Windows, and now we're looking at edge computing, a combination of a local server and the cloud. Car washing doesn't really work well in a whole cloud-based solution. So edge computing with redundancy is really going to be the future of point of sale management solutions in car washing.
Understood. Now, this year has been a year like no other in the world and in the car wash industry in particular here. So how has the emergence of this COVID-19 era impacted the point of sale process in the industry, would you say?
Well, we see one is sterilizing terminals. So we have special disinfectants we spray the kiosk with. It leaves a residue on the kiosk, which will prevent COVID being transferred to other people for over 12 hours. And we're really pushing more mobile apps. And we've developed our mobile app now where a customer can purchase their car wash. The site through geofencing knows what location you're at. So you pick your wash service. When you pay for it, when you get in front of the kiosk, we have unique sensing or proximity sensing technology where you can say, I'm in front of the kiosk. We'll identify you're in front of kiosk 2, and we'll put a 2-digit code up on the screen just to verify you're really that car in front of kiosk 2. and you punch that into your phone and the gate opens. So now you can buy your wash, pay for it, and confirm to the system that you're really in the right position to enter the car wash stack. And you can do all of it from the privacy of your car without ever having to touch the kiosk. So that's a big factor in the COVID space where people are afraid of touching common surfaces. We're also seeing a trend more to NFC, near field communications, where instead of dipping your credit card, all of our new sites have been EMV for a while. So dipping your credit card and then pulling it back out is slower. So we're seeing more movement to the credit card based tap and go, which is real big in Canada and Australia. And we're seeing it more and more here. We see less adoption of Apple Pay and Android Pay, where you have to hang your phone out the car window to the reader. I don't think people like hanging their phone out the window. So we see very low adoption there. But we're starting to see larger adoption with the credit card because it's faster and more convenient. And it's also requires less touch of the kiosk. And the last thing is the trend towards license plate recognition. Now you don't have to get the customer out of the car and put a tag in the car where you're going into their setting. License plate recognition is totally a hands-off way of identifying your customer, knowing who your customer is. So it's very non-invasive.
Okay.
Much better suited for COVID.
Okay, understood. So Kevin, how have the changes in governmental regulations and/or security requirements in credit card in the credit card industry contributed to the evolution of new point of sale technologies?
Well, so point of sale used to be very simple with credit card, and I'm going to pull up a quick graphic here. And this shows what credit card processing looked like in the MagStripe days and also the first days of EMV, which I would place somewhere around 2014, 15 when we were developing our first EMV solutions. The card reader in the old days would always take the credit card data and the reader would send it in the clear to the computer. And then in computer memory, we would take that cardholder data, encrypt it, and send it to the processor. So the vulnerability was at the reader level, where you could put a skimmer in the reader. You could put a sniffer on the data line going from the reader to the computer and see all the data packets going back and forth. And you could also have malware that would scan computer memory and look to see the credit card digits in memory while it's being encrypted, and it would store all that data and then send it off to Eastern Europe or Russia or somewhere. So basically, credit card technology was very simple to process a credit card, but unfortunately, the networks were not secure. And then the card brands, through the PCI Council, tried to make merchants responsible for protecting cardholder data in a non-secure credit card network, which was really a mess in the early days. So now this picture is showing today's more secure network. So now the credit card reader is tamper-proof, and it is a secure reading and encrypting device. So you can't tamper with the reader, and the reader is securely going to encrypt the credit card data and securely send the credit card data to the computer, or it could send it directly to the processor. Either way, it doesn't matter, because now on your network, you have no access to cardholder data. The data is all encrypted in the reader and is secure through your network. And by having a more secure network, it makes PCI compliance much easier, because when you have open credit card data, your list of requirements to comply with are much greater. When you make a secure network, those requirements are condensed. So a lot of car washes in the early days had to try to comply with self-assessment questionnaire D, which is nearly impossible to comply with. And today, our customers are complying with a very small set of self-assessment questionnaire, or SAQC, which is very easy to comply with. And we also have a program to help our merchants be compliant. And right now, nearly all of our merchants become compliant as they start their new sites or move to EMV.
It's good to hear, certainly, that the process is easier for operators out there in an effort to protect this important data. So, Kevin, we've talked a little bit about the past and present of processing here a little bit. Now, I'd like to ask you to maybe look into your crystal ball and tell us what does the future of car wash technology look like, especially in the area of customer payment processing?
Well, we see that express car washing revolutionized car washing, and it's really the most popular and most profitable business model out of there. We eliminated the labor tied to greeting, cashiering, drive on, and drive off. The express model delivers more value, and most operators don't think of delivering value, but when you improve speed of service, convenience, choice, deliver a better customer experience, that creates more value to the consumer, and that's what really drives volume. So now that Express has really driven volume and earnings up, we see a lot more customers opening multi-sites, and that changes the whole need of this free flow of data, real-time, accessible anywhere in your network. And that's really where edge computing comes in. That combination of cloud computing, by having a local server to do the real-time control and handle data requests at a local level so it's faster. Other challenges in the space we see now is wash quality at higher conveyor speeds, equipment maintenance. Customers really struggle to keep their equipment running, washing more cars. And we're seeing a trend where now there's renewed focus on creating a better customer experience, not just delivering the product, a clean car, shiny, dry, but also how does the consumer feel when they get it? So the future of car washing now is going to be automating the wash process. Express automated the business process. Now the wash process needs to be automated. And that really revolves around repeatable quality through automation. No more manual prep at the entrance to the car wash. Labor-based prep is expensive, it's not repeatable, and it's a bottleneck slowing down production. So now with newer technology where we can target chemistry, pressure, and friction from around the car, we're able to automatically spray bug prep because we know the front of the car, we know the windshield. We can raise the wheel blaster pressure on the wheels to clean better, but drop it on the painted surfaces and the doors to make it quieter. So by scanning the image of the car, targeting the chemistry, pressure, and friction, we get cleaner cars, we get a better customer experience, and we have significantly less damage to the car because we're keeping the core away from the car, we're cleaning with the fingertips. And we thought delivering a better customer experience and a cleaner car would cost more, but it actually costs less because we're not running the equipment flat out. We're running the equipment smarter, and it ramps up. It runs at just the speed it needs to do the work that's necessary. So we see a significant reduction in operating expense, utility costs, water, sewer, and also in maintenance and customer damages. So it really, automating the wash process is going to be the next frontier of car washing. And it really is a way of differentiating your wash, gaining a competitive advantage. And we believe that is going to be the future of car washing. So we have another slide that basically looks at automating the whole car wash management system. So, in the past, we would have a management system for self-serve. You'd have a guy that focused on MBay and guys that did tunnels, predominantly all in the 90s. Everybody focused just on their market segment. Today, systems can do all three of those wash segments and provide different management information for all four conveyor business models. But where the future is going with this edge computing, that combination of a local server with the web, is tying car wash equipment now into the management system, where you'll see a graphic of your high pressure pump or your hydraulics or your wrap, and you'll see what that equipment's doing. you're going to know if your high pressure wheel blaster has a clogged nozzle because the pump's going to slow down. Now the analytics and the diagnostic equipment you get from your equipment real time is all flowing into your management system. And just like you monitor the, let's say the auto sentry, where every minute we interrogate every piece of software and hardware, every component in that kiosk, and it flows up to corporate, we're doing the same with the equipment on the car wash site. Because now, today, the person loading cars at the entrance of the car wash isn't going to tell you if the wrap's cleaning the backs of cars or if the wheel blaster has a clogged nozzle or your blower shut down. You need your management solution to tell you. And that's really the future of car washing now, is integrating all the equipment into that real-time management solution.
All right, it'll be exciting to see all those changes continue to come to the forefront as this industry continues to evolve. Kevin, we thank you for spending a few moments here to discuss the changes and trends going on in customer processing. You've been a great supporter and friend to our publication, and we appreciate that partnership. So thank you again for taking a few minutes to do this interview for carwash.com.
All right, thanks a lot, Rich. Have a good day.